It's your girl, Lou Pac, baby. From the booth where the real ones talk slick and walk heavy. She don't do rumors, she do receipts. If you said it, she got it. If you did it, she show it. Truth teller, big stepper. That's Lou Pac, baby, no pressure. Yeah, truth teller, big stepper. That's Lou Pac, baby, no pressure. Yeah. Straight out of Louisiana, she don't duck, no smoke. Call her the queen of receipts, she keeping folks woke. From fake friends to baby daddies getting exposed. If it's messy, she gon' clean it up. Real talk mode. Independent, raw and loud with it. She ain't scared of nothing, she proud with it. So if you coming fake, don't step in her lane. She call names and receipts, gon' explain. Truth black, baby. All truth, all gas, no brakes. Truth teller, big stepper. That's Lou Pac, baby, no pressure. Yeah, truth teller, big stepper. That's Lou Pac, baby, no pressure. Yeah, it's Lou Pac, baby. All truth, all gas, no brakes. Yeah, all truth, all gas, no brakes. No brakes.
Yeah, you tuned in to Lou Pac, baby. She don't follow trends, she follow facts. Receipts ready, energy heavy. Let's go.
L-U-P-A-C, baby don't play, she speak facts, you see. Truth talk, clap back, all receipts on deck. She stand tall in the booth, got respect on her neck. I-N-D-E, yeah, she grinding with ease. P-E-N-E-N-T, bring in truth to the streets. Go.
She don't do drama, she drop data. Scroll the page, now or later. You'll see lies get exposed and the fake get froze like refrigerators. Name ring bells like second line. Speak real, no need to lie. She from the south with a strong survivor. Snakes don't make it out alive.
L-U-P-A-C, ain't no faking on the screen. Call a judge, call a jury, she deliver with the heat. You won't clap, but she got truth, no sugar in her speech. Independent, bold and real, this Lou Pac, baby, capiche?
They scrolling, she exposing. They trolling, she compose. See, Lou Pac don't just react, she decode what's not disclosed. From screenshots to timelines, receipts in real time. You playing checkers, she playing chess. Every move defined, got that hustle in her bones. No cosign built her own. Views go up when she speak up. This platform here a throne.
L-U-P-A-C, baby don't bend, she speak facts, you see. Truth talk, clap back, all receipts on deck. She stand tall in the booth, got respect on her neck. I-N-D-E, yeah, she grinding with ease. P-E-N-D-N-T, bring in truth to the streets. L-U-A-C, baby don't bend. She that truth in your feed when the lies get blown. Y'all watching, y'all lurking, but she grown. L-U-A-C, baby don't be. She that truth in your feed when the lies get blown. Y'all watching, y'all lurking, but she grown.
This ain't gossip, this ain't rumors. This is real talk, backed by real proof. Welcome to Lou Pac, baby, where every video got purpose.
Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. What is up, everybody? Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for being tuned in on this good old Wednesday. And thank y'all for y'all patience. Your girl ain't too late today, y'all. I tried my hardest to get, as close to the time as I could. I had to get my little coffee. I was uploading this little receipt that I pulled out the vote. Shout out to my girl Dawn. I'm gonna do it for the one time for her. Okay, listen, I went in the vault for this one, but we gonna make it do what it do. But thank y'all for y'all patience. Let me see who we got in here so we can get our little nightcap started. We a little earlier today, y'all. We ain't late like we was the last 3 days. Let me try to get on early because I got some stuff I need to do before I go to bed. Still ain't finished decluttering and freshening up my room. So I definitely gotta do that, y'all. Clean out the dresser drawers. I need to get rid of some clothes. Woo! It's a job. But we getting it done. And I wanna kinda redecorate too. So yeah. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting to the top. Hey, sweet queen, my love. Thank you for forever holding on the chat for your girl. Shout out to you and all of my beautiful minds that's in the building. Y'all don't have to do what y'all do, but y'all do what y'all do, and I love y'all for it. Okay. Hey, Miss Tracy. Hey, Miss Geraldine. Miss Yolanda. Queen Love Mel. Jaisha. We got It Don't Matter in the building. Miss Vonda. Beyond Compare. Creation. Who else? Let me see. Miss Nancy. Miss Michelle. Christina. We got my bro Terry, of course, coming through with the copyright and fair use. Michaela. Who else? Let me see. Miss Jeanette. We got Miss Peter to you, Miss Darlene. Brown Sugar. We got Shell in the building. We got Miss Jackie Rogers, Miss Amina, Miss Patricia. Who else? Let me see. Juanita, Deanna, Miss Malibu. We got, hold on, let me go up, y'all. Miss Janice Willie, Snooky. Shout out to you, my love. Miss Lisa. Latte, of course, Black Knight. We got Loving My Curves, Miss Witty. We got Solid as a Rock, Capricorn Mom. Who else? Tokyo Blue. Go down, y'all. Hey, Miss Melody. Hey, Malibu Genie. Scorpio Sings Discussion Board. Brittany Davis. Who else? Miss Jackie 8, 11 minutes. I am so proud of you. Listen, girl. I was trying. I was running. Girl. I was running. I was like, let me try. Because I try to get exactly on the time, but I had to reheat my coffee up. I've been trying to, make it do what it do. But I'm going to get a little better. I told you I was going to get better with it. Just let a little time progress and it'll get closer and closer to the actual time, y'all. Hey, Miss Stephanie. Hey, Miss Rhonda. Who else? Who else? Tyrese with the T, Nana Karen, Mr. Lee. We got Q in the building. Miss Michelle Spice who changed me. We got, hold on, down south. Truth Teller, Big Stepper. I love it. Shout out to my bro Fred. Who else? Let me see. Let me see. Love Me For Real. We got Miss Michelle Holmes. We got, let's see, PS in the building, Miss Maddie, Nubian Queen, Black Widow, Miss Lolita. We got Miss Cheryl Wagner, Dreamy Girl. Who else? Let's see. I don't want to skip nobody. Rolling with BB, Kimberly W. We got Nola Bunny, Sweetly Favorite, Gospel with Claire. Shout out to my own personal green team, Miss Sherry Weber. We got Giselle in the building, Miss Darlene. We got, hold on, go down. Hey, Mr. Nee. Hey, CC Girl. Who else? Nita M. Miss Sandra. CS. I kind of said that already. I probably did that. Hey, Tasha. Who else? Maya gonna get it. Miss Jean. Chosen by God. Miss Michelle. We got like 3 or 4 Miss Michelles in here. Hey, Miss Fela, living life 84, Miss Bevan, KB Mommy, Tropical Husky, Miss Brenda. We got Miss B in the building, Miss Karen, Clean Money Soul Gang. We got Miss Tony Lightner, Steph Puff and Stuff, Miss Sandra, baby. Y'all are deep. Tell me something good. Bow, bow. Shout out to you. Who else? Who else? You said that coffee always make a late. Listen, I'ma forever have that community on that. That's cool. Cause I feel like when you talk a lot, your voice start cracking. I don't know if it's a YouTube thing or what, child. But when I get on here, y'all, like if I ain't got nothing to drink right by me, especially something warm, I'll do tea every blue moon. But I like my coffee too. Gotta have my coffee. Hey, Lakeisha. Hey, Miss Cornelia, Rakita, Miss Laurie, Diane, Tahira. We got Shay B.S. Island, Miss Shirley, Miss Terrell, Miss Cassandra. Baby, we going too fast, y'all. We're coming too fast now. Hey, Nisha, the soul of a woman. Shout out to you, my love, and thank you for my first super sticker. Shout out to y'all. What you want to girl? So much. She just want to chill and deal with me. All right, you gotta be quiet. You put that tablet up. You gonna have to go in your room. Okay. Okay. Hey, I need my hair did. What's up, y'all? Shout out to y'all. Y'all came in here hot and heavy and quick. We got right at 300 people in here. If you would like to donate to me monetarily, you can cash at me at $Lupac2. You can also buy me a coffee. Shout out to all my coffee people. You can also support the platform by getting a super chat or a super sticker. Y'all coming in with the yellows, and I love it. Shout out to y'all. Y'all been showing your girl so much love these past few days. No shout out to YouTube because they jacked me on my watch ads on that live I did 2 nights ago, and they still never hit me back with support. Something going on with that, y'all. But they need to fix that. Because that made a major difference for me. They need to get that right, child. But you can also support me by getting a membership. Shout out to all my members, days 1, 2, and 3s, my own little personal green team. Y'all do y'all big one for your girl. I am so, so appreciative. I swear. I swear. And make sure y'all hitting that like button and watching them ads, y'all. Even though they jacked me on my ads, still watch them because you know this is a whole new live. So y'all keep watching them ads and hitting that like button, making sure it's liking and not lacking. That's to make sure it's like. Let me see. Let me go up. Thank you, Herschel. I appreciate you. Hey, Pastor Chad. Hey, Montez. Hey, Lily. Hey, Miss Angela B. Shout out to everybody coming in, y'all. Please hit the like button as you come in or go out. Okay, it's very simple, very easy, y'all. So, y'all, I feel like we got so much to talk about. I still didn't get a chance to, and we had a good live yesterday. If y'all was in, well, most of y'all was in here, but if you wasn't in here, you missed the good because we was on that live almost 2 hours and 30 minutes, child. But it was a real good live. We went back and oh, we went way back. We went way back, but it was good though. But with this live, so like I said, I still never finished watching Queen Step live, y'all, because I was busy today, still ripping and running and getting stuff together. So I'ma just go with because I seen somebody came in the live at the end of the live last night, but I had to end the live, so I couldn't I didn't know if they were still in for me to reply, but I didn't go too deep into Queen Step live because like I said, I didn't finish it. But I did hear a few things that I wanted to discuss and we're gonna talk about it today. But we also gonna get into it. I don't know if y'all was all in there, but Dawn went live earlier today too. Shout out to Dawn. Even though the audio was, it was choppy, I'm thinking it's because she recorded it on her laptop and also she said that LaOnya used a text free number to call her. So that could be why also she probably might have had a feeling that she was being recorded because I feel like she was recording Dawn too, baby. And she was doing all kind of extra stuff so the audio wouldn't be clear. That's just how I feel. But one thing when I was watching the live, I'm like, because it's a lot of controversies just surrounding that whole situation, right? You know, a lot of people on the other side give Dawn a bad rep, and it's not cool. It's not cool because I personally feel when it comes to the whole situation when, Dawn was cool with LaOnya and, then she uh realized that she was being manipulated and used, and that's a fact. And I'm gonna show y'all how that's true with this recording that I pulled out the vote, right? But shout out to Dawn because on this recording, Dawn checked LaOnya in them text messages. She checked it, y'all. But Dawn wasn't the first one to expose messages between her and LaOnya. LaOnya did it first, baby. And I feel like a lot of people let that go over their heads because they don't care what she do. They enable her behavior. But no, because it's always, oh, you betrayed her, oh, you a snake, oh, watch who you trust and da 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 da. But she did it to Dawn first. And she was indeed using Dawn and trying to manipulate Dawn. And when y'all gonna hear this audio, it kind of gives that Laonya was in competition with RH early in the beginning, based on the way she was speaking. Y'all gonna know what I'm talking about once I run it. But that's what it gave to me. It gave that she was in competition by having Dawn on her side and also having DW on her side as well. But I know most of y'all probably remember the infamous uh yellow sweater video that LaOnya did when she was talking about RH finances and stuff like that. That's the one, y'all. We got to run it back. Listen, because it's a whole good receipt, and it went over a lot of people's heads. And we're gonna break it down tonight. We're gonna break it down tonight. They're gonna leave Dawn alone. They're gonna stop messing with Dawn because I feel like God put Dawn in that situation for a reason. If Dawn had not been on that side, we wouldn't know about Janostra's abuse. And I feel like she played a major role when it came to vindicating her brother. And for her, for her own reasons, she felt like she would, she felt like she could be mutual in the situation. And y'all be able to see even in this audio that I'm about to show in those text messages, because I screenshot the messages from the audio to show y'all those also. You can see where Dawn is saying, I don't want to be involved in nothing dealing with court and this and that. And if y'all remember, whenever the court date came up for LaOnya putting RH's picture out there, I remember Dawn saying how she basically hit her with a last minute situation. When Dawn showed up to court, she tried to get the judge to put Dawn on the stand or testify or something like that, and Dawn was saying she did not want to be involved with that. She even said that in these text messages, and y'all gonna see where LaOnya reading the messages and skip clean over that message. Oh, we gonna get into it, baby. Let's hold up. Hold up. I'm about to pull it up, y'all. I'm about to pull it up. Let me go up first. Hold on. I see somebody gave me a super. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Lucky. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. And thank you, Tennessee Girl Boo Banga. Shout out to you, sis. Hey, Miss Sherilyn. Hey, Miss Nina. Yes, don't like they gonna leave Dawn alone. Dawn is all about peace. That's what she wants. She wants peace, y'all. She wants peace. She wants the issue resolved. Like she just wanted to be done with. Like it's a lot. It's a lot on their family. Hey, Nika. I just don't get it, child. But hey, it is what it is. But like I said, at the end of the day, had she not been there in that situation, we wouldn't have majority of the receipts that we have. We wouldn't have none of that. So, people not looking at it from that aspect. Well, some not, but it is what it is. And I'm pretty sure her brother is grateful to her for that. Because it's like I always say, y'all, it's a lot that go on behind the scenes that we're not privy to. It's some stuff that we are privy to, but it's also some stuff that we're not privy to when it comes to behind the scenes. It was communication. When Dawn was cool with LaOnya at that point, it was communication with RH and Dawn and LaOnya. So it was like a back and forth thing. She was kind of like the middle person. But y'all, let me just pull this up so y'all can kind of see what I'm talking about. Y'all gonna say, you say RH also said BB put his sister in a bad situation when he went. He did say that. He said that. And she did. And it's in these messages right here where she say, I don't want to be involved in nothing with court. And LaOnya tried to manipulate her, y'all, on this very live. She tried to throw her in the midst. And that's why I say they quick to say Dawn betrayed her. No. LaOnya did it first. She did it first, baby. Hold up. Let me pull it up, y'all. There, wait. Let me pull it up real quick. And then we're going to get into the messages. Okay. Hold on, y'all. All right. Let me put my earphones back on, child. Hold up, y'all. Give me a second. Thank you, Miss Sherry, for that coffee, and thank you, discussion board, for that cash app blessing. I appreciate y'all. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Let me text my son right quick. All right, let's get to it. Let me share my screen. And hate to everybody that's coming in, a collective hate to everybody. Please, y'all, hit the like button for your girl. We got 431 in the building. Make sure y'all making it do with the like button. All right, let's share. Okay, YouTube. All right, I don't think I need to put it on my other screen because it looks like it's big enough. Let me take this down. Okay. All right. And most of y'all probably don't remember this part because the clips that were floating around, this was a whole live stream, y'all. But the clips that was floating around when it came to this live was about, certain things. Get that, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all, because my dog, my Yorkie is in here. My son let her out, and she don't want to leave out the room. She's so small. Hold on, y'all. Oh, all right, y'all. My my little Yorkie came. Cam had the door open, and my little Yorkie came in here, and she did not want to leave. She started snapping at them, cheering and everything. She got under the computer desk. I had to get her because she went. She's that spoiled. Like she'll start snapping. She don't be wanting to get away from me. So I had to grab her and give her to my son. Oh Lord. Okay. All right. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Let me go up. Please know how to give me a super. Thank you, Toya. I appreciate you just because. Thank you, my love. Okay. All right. Let's start playing this, y'all. Wait, hold on. Okay.
His sister Don, I love you so much, Don, and I don't want to bring you in the midst.
Oh, and let me say this, just to give a little context. This video is from 2022, y'all. This was from 2022, the end of 2022. Okay? As you can see, look how small she is. Da, 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 da. But this is from 2022. This is when her and Dawn was still cool. Okay? Just to give y'all some context. But you can see where she's saying right now, his sister Dawn, I don't want to do this, but whatever, whatever. So this just shows that she did it to Dawn first. And she had a motive. She had a motive. Okay? You can tell by this audio. She knew what she was doing, and she definitely was manipulating and using Dawn.
Of this, but I have to because I'm sick and tired of all the monkeys attacking me. I'm sick and tired, just as you are, and I know you cut them off, and you don't want nothing to do with them either. So, with that being said, y'all seen Dawn, which is his sister, who still talks to me, and he's upset, and they're upset because she still talks to me and still wants to be in her niece's life. With that being said, yesterday I told y'all that he called her and made a threat. Anybody who knows, when you have a protection order, you do not call people and you tell a third party, hey.
Hold on. Okay. So y'all just heard what she said, because that part is important. Let me back it up just a little bit. No, and this will show how manipulative she is. Okay. Y'all heard what she said. Yesterday, he called his sister Dawn and made a threat. Remember that part. Because later on in this clip, she gonna manipulate the situation. Okay. Notice how, okay, let me say this. When you say somebody makes a threat, right? If you don't give context to what you're saying, people can assume what? The worst. When you hear somebody say a threat, you automatically assume something dealing with bodily harm or something along those lines, right? But later on, when Dawn gonna check her about it, she gonna clarify. And then she gonna try to say, oh, he knew what I was talking about. No, because you brought that to the internet and you said he called his sister and made a threat towards you, which could have been assumed to be anything because you was already accusing this man of being an abuser. Gaslighting and manipulation 101. Keep the plate. I backed it up just a little bit because I want y'all to remember this part specifically.
And you tell a third party, hey, go tell Brianna that this.
Hold on, wait. I didn't go far enough. Hold on.
Go tell Brianna that anybody who knows when.
Okay, another thing too, y'all. Notice how she didn't give context. When she said he called Dawn and made a threat, she said, hey, go tell Brianna this, and this, right? That was her version of giving context to the threat, but not actually saying what it was. So it caused LaTruth to then go live himself. And his live was titled Enough is Enough because of what she did on this live. Make sure y'all paying attention to that part.
You have a protection order. You do not call people.
Go back a little bit.
With that being said, yesterday I told y'all that he called her and made a threat.
Y'all heard that?
Anybody who knows, when you have a protection order, you do not call people and you tell a third party, hey, go tell Brianna that this. That's not what you do, fool. So here we go.
The manipulation of it is her not clarifying what the actual threat was. I'm going somewhere, y'all. That was the manipulation of what she was saying, not clarifying it, knowing you already put out this narrative that this man isn't a bruiser. So by you saying that, people are going to automatically assume the worst about that statement. Dawn checked her though. Hold up.
I'm a liar. Okay. I did send you a cease and desist, correct? Okay. So, yeah, let's get to the receipts.
And don't worry, if y'all can't see these receipts, I did screenshot them and I'm going to read them after the video finished playing.
She says, yeah, he hung up on me. Some bullshit. I hung up on him earlier because he pissed me off. But you need that video he just posted because it breaks the cease and desist. When you were throwing his clothes on the floor and the caption says you were mad because he wouldn't adopt the kids and people are talking shit to him for posting it. I said he called you and told you to refer a message to me. That's also a violation of the TPM. True. I'm so done, sis. Fuck it. I can't keep dealing with him. I let my home.
Another thing too, because I don't want it to go too far, y'all. Notice how Dawn mentioned the video RH posted that went viral about her throwing his clothes on the floor because he didn't want to adopt the kids. Notice how she skipped right over that and didn't even respond to it. Notice how she went straight into the situation about the TPO instead of addressing that first.
Girl, listen to our conversation, and she said he's attacking me now because he can't get to you. Because he can't communicate with you. Y'all see that, right? Right? Oh, okay. So he calls her back because he sees my live. So now he's saying you did a live saying I called you, saying he threatened you today. I said he called you and you're a third party. That's a violation. I'm still live right now. Okay. She said, I watched on the video, you did say threaten, and it was a violation because I'm third party. I said, you threatened to put me in jail. Same shit. That's sending a threat. If you say, Don, tell Brianna she going to fucking jail, that's sending a threat. Yeah, that's what I did say because that's what he said. That's what I was wondering what she was referring to. Girl, he know exactly what was said. I didn't say he threatened to murder me. Either way, you sent a third party to contact me. You violated the TPO. Can't.
Okay, y'all, hold on. I'm going to run it back.
His sister, Don, I love you so much, Don, and I don't want to bring you in the midst of this, but I have to because I'm sick and tired of all the monkeys attacking me. I'm sick and tired, just as you are, and I know you cut them off, and you don't want nothing to do with them either. So, with that being said, y'all seen Don, which is his sister, who still talks to me, and he's upset, and they're upset because she still talks to me and still wants to be in her niece's life. With that being said, yesterday I told y'all that he called her and made a threat. Anybody who knows when you have a protection order, you do not call people and you tell a third party, hey, go tell Brianna that this. That's not what you do, fool. So here we go. Since I'm a liar, okay? I did send you a cease and desist, correct? Okay. So, yeah, let's get to the receipts. She says, yeah, he hung up on me. Some bullshit. I hung up on him earlier because he pissed me off. But you need that video he just posted because it breaks the cease and desist. When you were throwing his clothes on the floor and the caption says you were mad because he wouldn't adopt the kids and people are talking shit to him for posting it. I said he called you and told you to refer a message to me. That's also a violation of the TPM. True. I'm so done, sis. Fuck it. I can't keep dealing with him. I let my homegirl listen to our conversation and she said he's attacking me now because he can't get to you. Because he can't communicate with you. Y'all see that, right? Right? Oh, okay. So he calls her back because he sees my live. So now he's saying you did a live saying I called you, saying he threatened you today. I said he called you and you're a third party. That's a violation. I'm still live right now. Okay. She said, I watched on the video. You did say threaten and it was a violation because I'm third party. I said, you threatened to put me in jail. Same shit. That's sending a threat. If you say, Don, tell Brianna she going to fucking jail, that's sending a threat. Yeah, that's what I did say because that's what he said. That's what I was wondering what you was referring to. Girl, he know exactly what was said. I didn't say he threatened to murder me. Either way, you sent a third party to contact me. You violated the TPO. Can't.
All right, y'all. So, did y'all get a good understanding? Was it, because I want to make sure y'all caught certain parts. Notice how her attitude changed also when she was reading, when Dawn kind of checked her on the situation. Like you said, RH reached out to Dawn asking her about the whole threat situation, and she tried to flip it and try to downplay it, but no. Earlier in the very same clip, she made it seem like he just threatened her. And when you say those words, people automatically assume something bad, and you was already portraying this man to be an abuser, and then use his sister in the process of it all. That's what make it even crazier. Like, Lord have mercy. Okay, so let me take this down and I'm going to pull up those messages. But this was, like I say, this was just to show y'all how she exposed her and Dawn's messages first and didn't even give Dawn a heads up either. She was on some, I love you so much to his sister Dawn. I love you so much. And I hate to put you in the middle of this. No, you knew exactly what you was doing. That was your intentions all along. To use his sister to her advantage, because, and notice how she say, because she still loves me and she wants to be in her niece's life and this and that, right? She said that for a reason, to make it seem like, okay, well, if his sister still talks to me, same thing she do with baby daddy number one. If his sister still talks to me, then I can't be that bad. I can't be that much of a liar if I'm still in communication with his blood sister. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second, real quick. Okay. All right. My bad, y'all. My bad. My bad. It never fails. Whenever my children is home, baby, it's so many distractions. Y'all can hear my door in the back. It's coming in and out. Okay. Let me take this down. My how we looking on the lights? Let me know. Are we liking? Are we lacking? Make sure y'all support my little super chat go. It ain't much. It ain't number 15, child. We already got a few up there. We got 489 in the building. Make sure y'all support your girl. Cause I goes in the vault with the receipts, baby. I go deep when it come to them receipts. Okay? Listen. All right, let's pull this up now. So we can go over those messages. Because she read them real fast and she kind of skipped through them. One in particular, when Dawn said she did not want to be involved in anything dealing with court. Why you didn't read that one? Right. It's the first one. Let me see. And hey to everybody that's coming in, please hit the like button. Okay. Y'all might, I don't know, can y'all see it good? Let me see. Let me put it on my other screen. Let's see, hold up. Where is that message? Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I don't want to see. Yeah, I'm trying to find out. I got so many tabs open at the top. Okay. All right, let me move it over. Hopefully it's big enough for y'all. It might look a little blurry, but I can see it clear on my end. Thank you, Miss Kathy. You say just a little something for the receipt, Queen of Receipt Queen. Thank you, Miss Kathy. I appreciate you, my love. And hey, Tamika Woodard. Okay, so this one says, let me pull it up. So this one says, yeah, he owns some BS. I hung up on him earlier. Okay, and this is Dawn. I'm reading Dawn's part, and I'll let y'all know when I'm reading Laonia's part. The gray is Dawn, the blue is Laonia. So Dawn says, yeah, he owns some BS. I hung up on him earlier because he pissed me off, but you need that video he just posted because he broke the the desist. I guess you mean the cease and desist. And then she says, when you were throwing his clothes on the floor, and the caption says you were mad because he wouldn't adopt the kids, and people are talking ish to him for posting it. So Laonia says, he called you and told you to refer a message to me. That's also a violation of the TPO. And the reason why I'm reading this to y'all, just to show y'all the manipulation in it also. Notice how she didn't tell Dawn, oh, it was a threat. Notice how she said it was a violation of the TPO, just the referral of a message. So the message was him saying, if she don't quit doing this and that, she's going to go to jail. But when you say, "Oh, it's he referred a threat," you're gonna automatically assume he said something that could possibly harm her. Who gonna who gonna automatically jump and assume somebody saying, "Oh, tell her if she keep doing all of this and that online, she's gonna go to jail." That was the threat, y'all. That was the threat. That's just to show y'all the manipulation of the situation. So let me pull up the next one. Hold on, let me take this one down. Take it out. Maybe I can kind of clear my screen a little. Okay, let's go to the next one. Could be this one. Hold on, y'all. I want to make sure they're in order. Okay, okay, I don't think it's the next one. Hold on, y'all. Yep. Okay, here, this one. All right, let's put it on my other screen. I hope it makes it bigger for y'all when it's on the other side. Okay, so for this one, it says Lion in the blue. She said, and I'm reading it again because the way I screenshot it is still parts of the other message too. So she said, he called you and told you to refer a message to me. That's also a violation of the TPO. So then Dawn says, true, I'm so done, sis. F it. I can't keep dealing with him. I let my homegirl listen to our conversation and she said, he attacking me now because he can't communicate with you. Okay, let me push pause on that right there, right? So if you know you fresh out of a situation, most adults can communicate amicably, right? They don't need third parties. They don't need no interference. Like they had a child in the midst of all of this. So imagine anybody would be frustrated if they can't communicate with the mother of their child like normal adults to see how, about the child's well being or anything involving the child. You got to run around in circles. Just anybody would get frustrated at that. Because why do we even have to do this? We have a child together. She put a cease and desist on, she sent a cease and desist to RH, y'all. This was in the beginning when she was the one who imagine sending out a cease and desist and you the one who keep coming on the internet talking it, telling lies. But she sent him a cease and desist. And this is the TPO that they're referring to is the TPO that the post that I read to y'all on yesterday's live, the TPO that got dismissed because the alleged threat was said 3 months prior, if it was even true. And the judge was kind of like, what? Who tries to get a TPO on somebody for something that was allegedly said 3 months prior and she stayed in her marriage? That wasn't even the reason why they divorced. Make it make sense. But it was dismissed. That's what she's referring to right here. Okay. So, hold on. Then Dawn says, yeah, I just don't want to be involved in court. Notice on the video when she was reading these messages, she didn't read that part. And then Dawn says he posted he going live tonight because enough. Okay, let me pull up the other part. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I wish there was a way we could put them all up at one time. Unfortunately, no. And once I finish, I'm gonna look at some of y'all comments too, because I know y'all going crazy in the chat. So, Dawn says, "Yeah, I just don't want to be involved in court." And then she said, "He posted he going live tonight because enough is enough, and he going to clear his name." And then you have the 3 hand over face emoji. So then Laonia says, "I can't wait. I can't wait because it's kind of blurry. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. That part is kind of blurry." Said, I can't wait because he not doing nothing but building my case." So that's what Laonia said. And then Dawn says, so now he's saying you did a live saying I called you saying he threatened you today, right? Y'all heard in the beginning of the clip where she said he communicated a threat to Dawn with no context. And then notice how at the end when she was reading her and Dawn messages, that's when she tried to say such and such and such and such. But no, that's still not giving clarity to the quote unquote threat. Manipulation. All right, let's take this one down. Bear with me. Okay, so for this one, oh, shoot, wait, no, that's not it. Okay, so for this one, Dawn then says, so now he's saying You did a live saying I called you saying he threatened you today. So then Laonia says, I said he called you and you're a third party. That's a violation. Notice how the crazy part is Dawn is actually watching the live while she's saying it. So Dawn heard what she actually said, and that's why she said, no, you did say something about threatening you. And then she tried to clear it up. That's because she was manipulating the situation. And also Dawn. So then she says, Laonia says, I'm still live now. And then she says, I'm sorry you're being attacked by him and in the midst of this BS. Notice how she tried to play on her emotions after that message. No. And then try to make it seem like he's attacking Dawn. That's the crazy part. She knew she was going to show these text messages. That's probably why she worded it like that. Because she skipped clean over Dawn asking her about her saying a threat that he threatened her. She skipped clean on over that, talking about, I'm sorry that he's attacking you. Peep the play, y'all. Peep the play. Hey, chatty sister. What's up, my love? Peep the play, baby. So then Dawn said, yeah, he's draining my energy. Okay, let's go to the next one. I watched some of them. Okay, let's go to the next one. And then to say he's attacking you, that's even crazier because when you use words like that, those type of words hold power. When you say somebody threaten you, people are going to automatically assume the words if you don't give clarity to that. Just like if you say, oh, somebody's attacking you, people are going to automatically assume the word. In this situation, her version of attacking was him calling Dawn, trying to relay messages because she was doing so much on the internet. That was her meaning of attacking Dawn. Okay, hold on. Okay. Let me put it over here, y'all. We have to go in the vote for this audio, baby. So Dawn says, notice how Dawn skipped right over what she said and got back on subject because no, you're not finna manipulate me in this situation. And lo and behold, she used a whole text thread and put it on the internet in a live stream to try to prove her case, to try to prove her point, to make it seem like, oh, this is what he's doing. He's sending threats. His sister is on my side. She wants to be in her niece's life. He's attacking his sister, constantly calling her to relay messages and send threats and da 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 da. That was the goal. So Dawn then says, because she peeped the play, I watched some of the live and you did say threaten. And it was a violation because I'm third party. So she basically let her know, I heard what you said. You didn't just say it was a third party violation. You said he threatened through me. That's what she said. So then Laonia says, you threatened to put me in jail. Same shit. That's sending a threat. Imagine that, y'all. If y'all hear somebody get on the internet in front of thousands of people that just was accusing their ex of being a physical abuser, and you hear them say, oh, he's sending threats, what are you going to assume? You ain't going to assume he said, I'm going to put you in jail. Then she said same shit. Like, no, it's not. It's not the same thing, ma'am. This will get somebody hurt or in trouble. This is a dangerous person. You gotta be like y'all. You have to be careful of people like this because words hold a lot of power, and this type of situation will get somebody in trouble. No, you can't chunk it up to it being the same thing because it's not. Him sending a threat to you, people are going to automatically assume he's trying to harm you. They ain't gonna assume he told you he was gonna send you to jail if you keep carrying on the way you carrying on the internet. I wouldn't even consider that a threat. So then Dawn said, yeah, that's what I did say because that's what he said. That's what I was wondering. That's what I was wondering. Was you referring to? Even Dawn didn't know what she was talking about when she said he sent a threat. So she knew exactly what she was doing when she jumped on that live. She was mad because, and matter of fact, she did that live, y'all, right after RH dropped that video of her throwing his clothes out, and he said she was mad because he didn't want to adopt them children. So then she goes live and do this. Keep the play in the pattern. And try to lie and say he sent a threat to her, but didn't clear it up. So then she says, girl, he know exactly what was said. I didn't say he threatened to me, unalive me. You didn't say he didn't either. That's the thing. And it's one thing for him to know what was said, and it's another thing for you to allow thousands of people to assume something different. You might have never said he threatened to unalive you, but you also didn't say that wasn't the threat either. Knowing that people are going to assume the worst when you say somebody communicated a threat. Peep the manipulation, y'all. So I think that is that the last one. Let me see. Hold on, no, they got another one. Okay, hold up. I think they got one more. Let's take this one down. Let's take this one down. There. Oh, they got two left. Let's see which one is the best. All right, let me move this one over. All right. So in this one, um, Dawn then says, okay, I just read it all over y'all. Yeah, that's what I did say because that's what he said. That's what I was wondering, was you referring to? And then Laonia says, girl, he know exactly what was said. I didn't say he threatened to unalive me or lie and say you said that. Y'all see the manipulation? No, you didn't lie and say she said that, but you basically allowed people to assume whatever the threat could have been. You didn't clear it up. Dawn didn't even know what you was talking about because she also didn't see him saying you're going to go to jail as a threat. Nobody's going to automatically assume that. Especially if you didn't already labeled this man as an abuser on live stream. So she said, oh, or lie and say you said that. Either way, you sent a third party to contact me. You violated the CPO. How else was he going to contact you about the job? Shout out to the judge for this missing the TPO because it was some foolishness. So then Dawn said, yeah, it's crazy. So then Laonia says, I said that so he knows, keep making threats. Look, there she go again. And you're going to jail because, okay, I can't see the bottom of it. Hold on, y'all. Oh, shoot, I cannot see that. Wait, did I go too far? I think I read, wait, hold on. Hold on, y'all. I think I went too far. Wait, let's see. What's the next one? Oh no, that it. Wait, hold on. Yeah, it's crazy. No, that was this the last one. I had to went back to the last message I was on. That was the last one, y'all. But I can't see the bottom, so I don't know because she didn't keep scrolling. That was the last part. You see how it in right there? That's the very last part of that message. So you can't see what else she said. But make it make sense. Like this is to show that Dawn was definitely being manipulated and used, and she broke free from that situation when she realized what the hell was going on. What and I wish she would have seen it sooner. But everything happens for a reason because at the end of the day, she was able to get all of those messages and everything to help vindicate her brother. Even though it's still some people out here that's labeling that man as an abuser, even though she's currently with someone that she came out herself and said has abusive tendencies, is even crazier. All right, let's take this off, y'all. Shout out the door. One time for the one time. All right, let me see what y'all talking about in the comments before I go too far. She's so used to the people around her being yes men, shaking my head and just go along whatever he says, exactly how Nate does. Kim say he didn't even threaten her. That girl is plain crazy. Janelle needs to hurry and run away from her. That's a karmic relationship, baby. Karmic. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Imagine being her big old age, still being childish as F and thinking no matter what you do has no consequences. She's sticking. Black Widow said she's too old for this mess. She act like a preteen pushing 40 years old, 40 some years old, because she can't be 33. I don't care what nobody says. Some of y'all still feel like she ain't 33. That's crazy. Laonia is a very good manipulator, but it don't take long for people to catch on to what she's doing at all. At all. It's especially the ones who got some common sense. Like it's obvious, it's apparent. And it's sad. This whole situation is sad, y'all. Even going back to these older videos and clips, you see something totally different. You know, once time progressed and more things happen, when you go back and review the older clips from the beginning, you start seeing stuff that you didn't see initially because now you know there's a pattern. Now you know there's a certain behavior to look for. We didn't know that initially. So now we can see more. See, I've been seeing this live in this video, but just recapping it is like, wow. Like she really was manipulating Dawn. That's crazy. That is crazy. But shout out to Dawn because Dawn did peep the play and let her know, no, you did say threat. You didn't just say, oh, he broke the TPO. You also said threatened too. And I was wondering what you was referring to. That's crazy. But like I said, the reason why I showed that is to show that she was why people, you know, trying to feel sorry for Laonya because of Dawn showing their messages. She did it to Dawn first. So where is her chastisement? Where is her accountability? Because when Dawn played that phone call earlier, I didn't hear her because I even heard Dawn mention this clip in that phone call. And she just skipped right over that. She skipped right over that. And that's what warranted this lie. Because no, that's the exact same thing. You mad at Dawn because Dawn showed y'all text messages which helped vindicate her brother. That's her brother. Just like you went live. So if you look at it, it's the same thing. Just like she went live showing her and Dawn's text thread to validate what she was saying. Same thing. Same thing. So if you ask me, it's the same thing. Period. They did it to each other, child. But I feel like Dawn actually had a reason, a good reason as to why she did it because look what came out of it. Look what was exposed. It was so much fraudulent, so many lies, framing of her brother and all of that. Like I would say she did a good deed exposing the messages because look what all came out of that situation, y'all. That is crazy. I have a question. Can she be in contempt for reaching out to them? No. Dawn is not a part of their court situation. Now, thank you for bringing that up because now we can kind of get into that situation with the call, whatever. Um, like I said, Dawn is not a part of that. Now, if she would have reached out to, well, I can't even say she can't be. Dawn can't be considered contempt because her and RH, Laomi and RH can actually have communication, y'all. It's not considered contempt because they have a child together. Whether it's through the Parent Wizard app or direct contact, they can have contact with each other. They can have contact but you know, the courts pretty much leave it up to their discretion. Like if y'all can't get along, then y'all do it through the Parent Wizard app, right? But you know, if y'all can, then act like adults and do it the right way. So it wouldn't be considered a contempt because, you know, like I say, Dawn is not a part of that situation. So no. But back to that call, I feel like that call was not genuine. It was a setup. I feel like it was a last minute play trying to basically see what she can get out of Dawn to help her in court. And the reason why I say that is because of the things, even though the audio was real choppy, y'all, like you couldn't really hear it. Hey, Valena, you couldn't really hear it, but some things you could hear. And I remember hearing where Laonya was saying, that RH is paying all of these people to talk about her. And I'm like, you cannot be that delusional. This man, first of all, his money ain't been the same since all of this happened. One, you can't call him broke one minute and the next minute he paying everybody. So you just gonna dismiss or act like the things that you're doing on social media doesn't count for anything. Could like that's not a possibility. Like people ain't actually talking about you because of you. They only doing it because of RH. That's crazy. That is crazy. Matter of fact, I haven't even seen RH in nobody's chat lately. Y'all, this man has really, it looked like he really done moved on with his life. Like he's trying to rebuild his life. He ain't been in nobody's chat. He don't care what nobody say no more. None of that. He just moved on. So to think that, and I feel like that's all projection. All projection because of the things that was exposed about her and the people she associate with. But that's why they'll never be able to communicate cordially because she blames him for people blogging on her on the internet. That man is not responsible for that. Your actions are, ma'am. Your actions are. So the situation that just happened with Dr. Jill, RH put everybody up to blog on that? Make that make sense. Y'all, I would guarantee if RH had the power to stop people from actually talking and blogging, he would. He would, because one very important piece that Laonya is missing is the fact that he's affected by this more than you are. More. His livelihood was affected long before yours started becoming affected. She was still clocking a bag while this man was struggling because of the lies that was put out about him. So I would say that this saga affected him more than her. Even though it's affecting her now, that karma is karma, baby. But he was affected the most. And that's what she's not considering. Like she ain't looking at that. And Dawn even said on that call, well, you saying people bullying and harassing you, but what about my brother? And Dawn said, I wouldn't even say that. She said, do you really think that's bullying, harassing people doing content on things that you put out or stuff that's put out about you? And then Dawn said, well, I would say the same thing about my brother then. And you know what she said? Well, I don't bring up your brother, just like how when I went to court with Queen Step, I didn't bring up Robert into that. Yes, you did, according to Queen Step. Queen Step said when she was interrogating you, when the judge allowed interrogation, um, you said, well, can you tell her to stop bringing up my ex-husband, stop talking to my ex-husband? And I remember vividly Queen Step saying, I don't want Robert. Robert is like a brother to me. Queen Step saying, that's what you worried about? I thought we was here about you saying people talking about your kids and I'm bullying, harassing you and stalking you, but you bringing up the truth in the courtroom. So she contradicted herself in that audio with her and Dawn because she started doing it. She tried to use that excuse, y'all. It's so contradicting. She tried to use the excuse and say, well, when I went to court with Queen Step, I didn't bring up nobody else. My issue was just with her. Because Dawn said, if they attacking my brother, I'm coming for your men, your baby dad. They gonna get that same issue. That's basically what she said. She said, I feel like it's more than right. If my brother gonna keep getting attacked, then your other baby daddies ain't off limits. Booger boy, nor sleep. That's what Dawn said. And that's when she you try to use the excuse and say, well, if I'm going to court and if I went to court quick step, I didn't bring nobody else into it. Da, 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 da. But then a little while down the conversation line, she brings up LaTrue and starts saying, and it's all going on because Robert is paying people to keep talking about me and my kids and my dad. No, that man is not. Baby, you ain't gonna sleep until you get that up out your head. He is not paying people. Where he getting the money from? Like, man, she said, and I quote y'all, because Dawn said, she brought up not on your supporters, right? And she said, well, they just doing, I'm not telling them nothing. I'm not giving them no information. They just doing it to clock a bag, right? Well, if you not doing it, why are you saying RH doing it? Wouldn't you think that everybody else is clocking a bag too? Talking about this saga, getting paid through social media. The fact that she's still saying Robert is paying people is blasphemy. That man is not paying nobody. That man trying to build his life back. He ain't even involved in this no more. He let them people blog and do they want to. Y'all know RH used to go in the comments. He used to troll them, all of it. At this point, he don't even care no more. He just on some do what y'all gotta do. If that's how y'all gotta make y'all coin, then have it. And she need to be the same way. Because you can't stop nobody from blogging per her own words. You can't stop nobody from freedom of speech. That's the exact thing. I showed y'all the TPO, the statement she wrote after RH tried to get a TPO on her for everything she was doing on social media. She said the judge said you cannot stop anyone from freedom of speech on social media. That was her word. Make it make sense. So yeah. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to hear the whole thing when it comes to the audio because it was so choppy, but what was I gonna say? Damn, y'all. It was so choppy, but um, I feel like Dawn had good intentions. You know what I'm saying? And you know, because there's a lot of people that was like, I wouldn't have talked to her and this and that. But you never know what could have came out that conversation. You never know what could have came. And I feel like she did right with that conversation. She did right with it. I do feel like Laonia was trying to feed her into saying certain things. She didn't fall for the bait. Dawn was just on some, I want peace. I want peace for my brother. And she was like, I won't speak on you no more, but I ain't gonna stop. If they keep talking about my brothers, I'm gonna keep talking about your baby dad. Fair game. That's the type of time she was on. And she was, y'all, another thing. I almost forgot. This girl said, because Dawn said, RH had Momo one day. And Momo told Dawn, I can't talk to you. My mommy said I can't talk to you. And of course, Dawn said that her feelings, that's her niece or whatever. And she didn't been around Momo the most because she was cool with Laonya at one point. So Dawn asked Laonya about that on that call. And of course, Laonya and said, I never told Momo that. Why Momo got on that phone and said, yes, she did. Listen, one thing about them cheering, baby, they gonna tell the truth. I was in Dawn I said, I bet you any money. She probably was behind that phone telling Momo, probably shaking her head, trying to tell Momo what to say with her head. Don't say that. Tell me, tell her no. Tell her no. I'm weak. I said, I know people. And that's why you don't do stuff like that. Keep the kids out of the adult drama. That's crazy. Just because you and her auntie had, At the end of the day, I look at it like this, right? If we family, we family. Okay, and it's one thing, well, they not family, but that's RH's child also. If it was just a anybody, outside of a relative, that's different. But to tell her don't talk to her auntie because y'all don't get along no more, even though reason it was you behind the reasoning because of you trying to manipulate and use Dawn. That's why it happened like that. What's up, Auntie Mo? Shout out to you. But like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. But she told her, she asked Momo. Momo came to the phone, and Momo Momo said she did tell her that. Because she tried to say, I never told her that. I told her, don't talk to Miss Season. Well, why would you tell her that? Keep the kids out of the adult BS. Because at the end of the day, you allow her to talk to Janasha. And we know our age don't care for him because of everything that did happen with all the antagonizing, using his child against him and all of that. You ain't stopping her from talking to him, but you telling her don't talk to Miss Season. Make that make sense. Because you don't care for Miss Season. That ain't cool. Her daddy not telling her don't talk to Janelle. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. Forfeit thugging. Shout out to you, twin, birthday twin. Like, that, make it make sense. Like, keep them kids out of that. You cannot dictate, and that's another sign of being a bitter baby mama. You cannot dictate who your child is going to be around and associate with once you are no longer with that man. Unless it's some type of unfitness going on or some type of abuse or essay or anything like that. Like, your dad's background. You cannot dictate none of that. You just gotta let what's gonna be, and just pray that your baby daddy is not gonna put your child in a situation that could be harmful. Even though we can say differently when it comes to you, because you yourself came to the internet and said that this man choked spit on you and all of these other things. So all we can do is assume that you have your child in an unsafe environment. Because if he abused you on multiple occasions, according to you, how do we know that it's not going on in the home right now? We can only assume that you stayed with him, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, make it make sense. So that was crazy to me. Telling her, don't speak to Miss Season. Don't talk to your auntie. Don't, like, that child probably so confused, y'all. And you know how I know she confused? Because when Dawn was on the phone with her, because there was a point where Dawn got on the phone with Momo in that conversation, and all Momo kept saying is, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And Dawn say, why you keep saying that, Momo? We all know Momo is very smart. That little girl is very, very smart. And she know how to speak very well. So what that told me, because I'm very analytical, that told me that she was confused. She was scared of what she could say and what she couldn't say. That's why she kept saying, I don't know, throughout the conversation, because her mama had already told her she couldn't talk to Auntie Dawn. You don't do stuff like that. I could only imagine the things that baby didn't told her daddy. I could only imagine. I know that court date finna be lit, especially in that environment. Especially in that environment. Imagine, okay, if we know what we know because of what has been put on the internet, imagine what has not been put on the internet. And the things that child could have been told her dad. Come on now. Because I got a feeling Walt's background ain't the only reason why he's trying to get full custody. because that also was brought up August 12th, Nola Bunny. That also was brought up on that conversation. And Robert's trying to get full custody. Why would you bring that up? Because you just had said prior to saying that you when you go for somebody and when you talk to somebody, you try to resolve the issue with you and them. But you brought Latruda up in that conversation. Dawn brought him up for a good reason, saying, "I do this because out of defense of my brothers. Because if people dragging my brother, then your other baby dad is not off limits." So she brought RH up for good reason. Laonia brought him up because I feel like it was a motive. I feel like she was recording also, and she was trying to see what Dawn was going to say about the situation. Because if it was a genuine call, one, she called from a text-free one. She started the conversation off telling Dawn she was bullying, harassing her by still putting messages out, this and that. And what else did she say? I don't remember, y'all. I forgot. She said some other stuff too, but it was so choppy you can only hear like certain parts. But that was crazy. That, that was crazy. But even try to say that she don't bring RH up. And Queen Step just did a live yesterday saying how she brought RH up in court. Saying that she didn't want Queen Step talking to him or bringing him up. What? You can't control that, ma'am. That's not your husband no more. That ain't your husband. He's free to talk to whoever he want to talk to at this point. Thank you, Miss Linda in Florida, for that cash app blessing. I appreciate you, my love. He can talk to whoever he want to talk to. That is crazy. But I'm trying to think if something else Queen Step said on her live, y'all. The portion that I did hear, I'm trying to remember. Because watch now, when I'm gonna get off live, that's when I'm gonna remember everything. I'm trying to remember it was something else she said that stuck with me. Um, Help me, y'all. Put some of the things in the chat that Queen Step said on her live that happened in court so it can refresh my memory. I remember her saying that Laonia was trying to say she didn't want her talking to was trying to get the judge to say she couldn't talk to RH no more. Uh, she also said how one of the court dates she showed up with her cleavage all out and the judge made her go change her shirt because it was inappropriate. That is crazy. Now that's crazy. The fact that first of all, in court etiquette, everybody knows that you can't show up to court just no any kind of way. You can't do that. Here, you can't wear no T-strap shirt. You can't wear no shorts. It has to be appropriate. Can't just put anything on and go to court. It was something else. I'm trying to remember. He over there snatching whole follicles out of her head. You see that? Child, I did not see that, Miss Pat. Um, I know I gotta finish it, Nina. I gotta finish it. She's sneaking calling from crazy numbers. Be a woman and call from her own number. And you know what, y'all? To keep it a bean, I honestly feel like that call was about Janash. I don't think it was woman to woman. I don't think she was on that type of time. Because that's what Dawn titled it. Dawn, Dawn crazy. Dawn say the call went a little something like this. But I think it was more so because it probably causing issues in her relationship with Janash. Because think about it, y'all. When Dawn did that live, Dawn wasn't talking about them cheering. Dawn was on that live talking about those Instagram messages between Laonia and Janash. And then boom, here go that call. Here go that call. So I think that's what it really was about. Because he don't want that type of stuff getting out here. He don't want people to still be talking about him. So I wouldn't be surprised if that live didn't spark that last breakup that they had. I wouldn't be surprised because though if y'all remember those messages that Dawn put out told a whole lot. The messages told a whole lot. It showed how she sent him a message to um do damage control with his infidelity. That little menage a trois he had out of the country, what, about a year and a half, 2 years ago? She sent him a whole message talking about there was a very inappropriate video that was posted in my story. And the fact that this is why I call her Queen Validation. The fact that she was more worried about the damage control than the fact that her ninja was just caught cheating again. I wouldn't have cared. I would have let him take his lick. She didn't want to be wrong on the internet so bad that she was willing to do damage control for his infidelity. That's some crazy work. Ninja, you gonna have to take your leg. You did it. I wish I would allow you to violate me in our relationship and then I try to fix what you did so we don't look bad on the internet. No, I would take my lick with that one and you're gonna look bad because you're the cheater. That is some crazy. Hold on, y'all. Ain't no way. I'm unlocking. Unlock my Google tab. He was gonna have to take his lick. Hold on, y'all. He was gonna have to take his lick. And that was one of the things that Dawn exposed in those Instagram messages, showing how he was pretty much using her, had her doing certain things, and how he would talk to her any kind of way. And it gave that he was an opportunist in those messages. So he didn't want that out, and neither did she. But like Dawn said, if y'all don't want to leave my brother alone, then hey, it is what it is. He fair game too. Because to be keep it a bean, it wasn't even really about Laonya. It was about him. That's why she did that. That's why Dawn did that. Dawn said why she did it. She said, y'all keep messing with my brother. So here you go. Here you go. Let's remind y'all how this is still an imperfect, toxic situation that is very much still going on right now. That's why she did that. That's the crazy part. Um, Pretty Bree said in her post, in her past live, Moose won a threesome. I guess she was lying after all. Dang, this girl down bad. Karma is the big. Hey, Carmen. I don't remember that. I don't remember Pretty Bree saying. Child, she said so much. Like she didn't say it so much on the internet, but I don't remember her saying that. I'm trying to think what else Queen Step said on her. I would play some of it, but I don't want to get demonetized. Queen Step be cussing, baby. She be cussing. Okay, so we ain't trying to lose the monetization now. But I'm gonna definitely finish watching it tonight, y'all. Hopefully, tomorrow I can review it even more. But she said some things. I told y'all to help me out in the chat now. I said y'all, because if y'all was in Queen Steps live yesterday, put what y'all remember, and it might kind of jog my memory of what I had already watched. I love Johnny Booger Boy moment, treat her like ish. To be honest, I still feel like something in the milk ain't clean with that situation. Something going on. I think they trying to save face, even after her getting the fun jump for Momo and all of that, at his house or whatever. I feel like it's still a save face type situation. Like she gonna do whatever to prove that they still rocking and rolling. But all of the subliminals is apparent. Like it's telling people something different because if bruh, you couldn't pay me to stay in a situation that I am unhappy in. I can't do it, y'all. I cannot do it. And I always say you gotta realize how your decisions affect your kids. your mental health, all of that affects your kids. So just imagine that. But that court date is coming. It's slowly but surely coming, y'all. Matter of fact, what today is? Today is the 30th. Hold on. Got one more day in this month. In August right there. So, but she did bring that up on that call, and that right there is what made me feel like Mika say, "Let me call my girl Pretty Bree." Listen, Pretty Bree is a character, okay? Um, that right there made me feel like that was a motive. It was not a genuine call. I don't care what nobody say. That was not a genuine call because if it was, she wouldn't have mentioned the stuff about courts. Why did you need to bring that up? Dawn know that he's trying to get full custody. You know that already. You know that already. She really thought she can make his sister believe that he out here paying people to talk about her. Like really? Why would Dawn believe that? She knows she ain't getting paid. If she's doing it for a reason, don't you think other people are doing it for a reason as well? Come on now. Y'all, I, either she's playing or she's that delusional. Because it's no way you really don't see how much this saga has affected people. Not just you, not just RH, but actual real DV victims. It's no way she don't see the impact that her lies had on real DV victims. Because majority of the people in this saga that still tunes in are DV victims. They've been through real situations. That's why a lot of people hate her. That's why. Some hate, some dislike, but it's there. And that's why. Because of your behavior, ma'am. Because of your behavior. And that's why we talk about you. That's what the audience wants to hear. They want to see an ending. They want to see a resolution, something that comes from this, something positive that comes from this because of so much negativity and hate and this nasty energy around surrounding this saga. It ain't because RH paying people. It's the effect that the saga had. And people want to see an ending. It's like a book. People want to see what's going to happen. They want to see the outcome. I think at this point, everybody knows she ain't gonna never come to the internet and apologize because she, in her mind, she believes that she had to forgive people to move on. Well, everything she did to her ex-husband, in her mind, she really believes that she's the victim. She really believes that, y'all. Even with everything we've seen on this internet, all of the third party people that then came out and exposed her behavior behind the scenes, all of the text messages that was exposed, the whole part she played in all of this, and she really believes she's a victim in this situation or the victim. And I say all the time, if she really wants to move on from this, if she really wants to make amends and co-parent properly and have some peace on her platforms, she has to come to this very same place, the same place you cause so much damage and destruction, and you have to genuinely apologize for the part you played. And I say this all the time. Nobody is saying that she didn't experience stuff in that marriage. But guess what? He did too. So you're not a victim, ma'am, but you portrayed yourself as one. You did DV panels. You went on TV shows. Like you did all of that, pushing a narrative that was not true. Every marriage goes through this. Every marriage has tips. Every marriage has arguments. All of that. Some even have pushing matches. Some even have restraint matches where the wife is the aggressor and the husband has to restrain her. Still toxic, still the same. But she made it seem like it was something bigger than it was. Oh, I got out, y'all. You came out here and made it seem like you was in this horrific, abusive marriage for 6 years that you had to escape from. That's how you painted it. That's how you painted it. But behind the scenes, you was having conversations with Dawn. You was having conversations with Kevin, and you was telling them just about that tote situation. The same thing she said in that audio that Dawn released about, oh, it was only the tote incident and Virgil, which I knew that from the beginning because she kept specifying it. But because certain things was happening and people was dragging her behind it and she was blaming RH, she felt like she had to put that stank on it, put some seasoning on it, and make it more than what it was to ruin him further. That's why she did what she did. Because she blames him for all of this, y'all, and still does. And forgetting that she brought it here. You can't get mad at the reaction, but not at what happened to cause that reaction. We can't just forget about the part you played and then be upset about how people react to the part you played. That's not cool. Can't ignore all of the beginning. Cannot. And that's why I say, like, nobody has never argued. And I remember Harmony doing a video and saying this not that long ago. Nobody ever argued that marriage, that nothing happened in a marriage. Nobody ever argued that. We didn't stay on that, but nobody argued that. We argued what we seen based on receipts and the receipts we used to rebuttal what she said. Nobody ever came and said nothing had that marriage was perfect. Nothing happened. Nobody ever said that. I always say it's his truth, her truth, and the truth. And when it comes to her and his truth, it's their account minus the parts that make them look bad. Don't let that go over your head. When it comes to his truth and her truth, is their account of the situation minus the parts that make his and her look bad. The truth is everything. His part, her part, all of it. So that's not the issue. And that's why I said, but in her mind, y'all, she's sticking to it was an abusive marriage. He did this, he did that. And then, you know what's even crazy is the fact that if we really look at the receipts, like really look at the receipts that was put out here, you can consider her to be the abuser, not him. We can say he was abusive verbally, but we didn't see him put his hands on her in none of those receipts. We didn't see him admit to nothing in none of those receipts. But we did see her being physical, even in the tote situation. And that's why I always said, I said, she took that tote situation. Because if you go back to the beginning of the saga, right? That's all she focused on was that tote situation. October 14th or 15th, the day that tote situation happened, that was her focus. You know why? Because that was the only physical situation in that marriage. That's why she focused on that so hard. The other stuff she came out and said, she put that stank on it. In my opinion, was lies, according to the receipts, right? The rebuttal. But that tote situation, she wanted everybody to side with her and believe what she said. And when it didn't work out like that, once Kevin challenged her, because initially when she told her account of the tote situation, she left a whole lot out. She left out the fact that she pepper sprayed him. She left out the fact that she kicked him in the mouth. All of that. The tussle, all of that. She left that out. She made it seem like this man just beat her over the head with a toe. You rammed it on my body. I was just trying to get your phone. You left a whole lot of context out. And then when Kevin got LaTruth's version of the story, right? He went live and he dissected her video. And that caused for her to come back out here and tell everything that happened. Because she didn't tell nobody that she had pepper sprayed him, y'all. And that right there, I never forget. When she finally came back out and said, she pepper sprayed him to get his phone. Even though at one account she tried to say, "Oh, you swinging the pillows, you still trying to attack me." So I started spraying the pepper spray. No, you started spraying that pepper spray because you wanted to get in his phone. You wanted a moment without disruption so you can get in his phone. That's why you pepper sprayed him. It wasn't because he was attacking you. And shout out to Nosy Bystander because she was one of the first people, her and Vibe with Cal. When I tell y'all Nosy Bystander, she dissected the F out of this storyline, the earlier parts of it. She got away from it out a little while later. I think around the time when they had the staircase video situation, because a lot of people started turning away from this storyline once they did the staircase video. And people was like, and then Laonia posted a reel, her and RH, where they were kind of hugged up a little bit, dancing to one of his songs. And people was like, they back together? That made a lot of people mad. That pissed a lot of people off because of the narrative that she painted. The narrative she painted. So people were confused and people thought they were lying. That's when people started thinking that the whole tote situation was a skit. It wasn't just because RH tried to do damage control and said it was a skit. It was also because there was a point where they was trying to get back together and make it work. But because she couldn't handle the pressures of social media, she started coming back out here dragging RH. And that's when he was like, no, I can't reconcile with you. You still talking shit about me on the internet. You making it seem like I'm still this bad person, but behind the scenes, we at the hotel. All right, say, Now you see why I can't reconcile no more? Now you see why I'm done? That is crazy. And that's what it was. That's what it was, y'all. We're gonna keep doing our little recaps. I enjoy these because I feel like I normally do these in members only, but it looked like y'all enjoy the recaps too because the numbers be numbering. But I feel like when you recap those lives, the older lives, you start seeing stuff that you didn't see before. Because, like I said, you can see now that we know there's a pattern and it's a lot of deception and manipulation, you can look for that in the older videos. You couldn't do that before because you didn't know the character effort. It was a fresh situation. So it was a lot of sympathizing and a lot of cloudiness and blindness because of emotion, trauma bond. That's why people couldn't see past her BS because there was a lot of trauma bonding. She really played on real DV victims, basically. So they couldn't call Cap initially because they sided with her and sympathized with her because they felt like she went through a similar situation as they did. A lot of us did. A lot of us. Even though I was one of the ones who seen the BS early on too, because whenever, let me tell y'all, when I initially knew it was some cap, right? I seen a scorn bitter woman. When she came out with that video in the car, and she was the video when she was in the vehicle, and she was saying how, I think that was the one where she was, kind of like recounting the situation, and she was saying she had her son talk, and she called her daddy on the phone, and she called Deshaun. No, that wasn't it. That was the yellow sweater video. The video where she was in the car, y'all. If y'all know what I'm talking about, one of the very first videos when she was in the car, and she was kind of going over what happened. And when I heard her talking, and then when she said she pulled out the pepper spray, because she didn't say that initially. She didn't tell people that she pepper sprayed. That's when I was like, But I was already kind of iffy with the situation, because I'm one of the ones who don't believe in going, trying to forcefully go through your partner's phone. I don't like stuff like that. Stuff like that is, to me, it's control. It's insecurity. Like, if you feel like your man is doing something, then that's your proof. Use your gut. Because a man that love you ain't gonna give you no reason for you to feel like he's doing something, unless you're just that insecure, and he ain't giving you no reason, but you just want to go through his phone just because. And that's what I think it was. She allowed the women on social media to get to her, and it kind of played with her own insecurities, and that's why she went through his phone so much, because women kept complimenting him on social media, saying he was fine and he was this and he was that, and she allowed that to get to her. Bump the fact that that was her husband, her man. She allowed compliments of other women to get to her, because she used to be cussing his supporters out. She used to be cussing his supporters out. Like, when they would say stuff, Tosh would be in the car. Like, girl, you couldn't pay me to do that. That is, child, that is a hot mess and a half. Thank you, Miss Gwen. I appreciate you. Y'all show me some love with my little gold child. Show me some love with my little gold before we get off here. Show me some colors. Colors, colors. My eyes starting to get low now, y'all. Y'all know how it be when I do these late lives. That's why I be trying not to do them too late. But I don't be wanting to miss out, and I don't want to get knocked out the algorithm. So I try to throw one in where I can get in it. My eyes starting to get low. Robert is who he is, online, offline. And I've heard a lot of people say that, Mika. I've heard a lot of people attest to his character. Like, make it make sense. And I truly believe I think we had this conversation yesterday. Somebody had said something about, if RH, we was talking about, if she didn't, somebody said, uh it would be real crazy if they were to get back together. And I was like, I don't think that would ever happen. And that's based off of stuff that I'm privy to that hasn't hit the internet, and also the stuff that has. Once you take a man to, like, y'all, you gotta realize the things that this girl has done to him. I don't see no man reconciling with that. Think about it, y'all. RH decided to not reconcile back in 2022. So that ain't even count all the stuff she has done. Now it's 2025. So if he decided he wasn't gonna reconcile when it first happened, and she started coming on the internet saying all of these different things, it's no way. Plus two more kids added to the equation. He didn't even want no more kids, because she had already had kids. She had three. He didn't want no more kids, y'all. But he handled his business when it came to Momo, because that's what a man does. He handled that situation like a real man. And that's why I didn't appreciate when she came out here saying he didn't even want to be no effing daddy. And she tried to use that against him, because if that's the case, why did you stay with your husband after you had that child with him? Why was y'all still together? And a lot of people didn't think about it like that. A lot of people didn't call that out. Like, no, don't let her use that against him. Don't let her use that against him because if it was all that bad and you felt like he didn't want to be no daddy and he didn't step up when it came to his child, why was you still with him? Because Momo was 3 years old when they broke up. And to me, that make you look bad. It make you look bad because what type of woman stay with a man that she feels like don't want to have nothing to do with their child or didn't want their child? You stayed in that marriage. Not only did you stay in that marriage, you married him a second time and you paid for everything. So it couldn't have been all that. Thank you, Gabrielle, my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. You did help my little gold child. Imagine sneaking to go suck the same. I should have known the same shrimp you bashed on the internet earlier that day. Girl, listen. That's y'all. That's what makes it even crazier because it makes me think about all of this, right? Because she made them think she really came out here saying that RH was not a grower. He was a shrimp. He was buying a sausage. She never orgasmed in the whole 6 years. All of that. But when a real woman, right? Real women are going to look at something like that and say, well, why you acting like this on the internet if it's all that? If he never pleased you in 6 years, why the hell is you cutting up and carrying on like this on the internet? Even in a new relationship, she was still checking for Ari, still going back and forth, throwing subliminals, messing with the females he was dealing with, and all of that. And even most recently, well, we just heard her uh her tell Dawn that she told Mama she couldn't talk to Miss Caesar. Make it make sense. Real women gonna look at a situation like that and be like, well, let me go see if she telling the truth because y'all know how it goes. And that's if anything, she probably ran more women his way because they gonna want to know something based on what you're saying because your words is not matching your behavior. Not only that, you still wanted to reconcile. You wanted him after the fact. You called him a shrimp and said you had never been satisfied in the whole 6 years, but you was on the phone crying to his brother Kevin, saying this is my first marriage and all I want to do is reconcile, do anything to make it work. I know I wouldn't. Baby, if I ain't had an orgasm in 6 years, I would have ran away from that marriage so fast. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. You know, sex ain't everything, but I mean it's important. It's a little important now. Don't get me twisted. But it didn't align, y'all. And I knew when she said that, I knew that it had to do with her being bitter and scorned. Even when the picture came out. Think about it. Like you put out a picture, and this came from Ari, because I didn't see the picture. But you put out a picture in his most vulnerable state. That man had just got out the shower. So it wasn't at attention. Most men are small in that state. She knew exactly what she was doing. And then you got other women who've been crazy, but bro, you can't tell me this man sitting over there with a shrimp, with unlimited shrimp, and multiple women been cut up behind him on the internet. Multiple. Baby mama number one, baby mama number two, the stalker. Like, come on now. Like, make it make sense. Even Foot Meat came out here and said, well, I don't know what's going on with her down there, but he was fine to me. Foot Meat said, I'm not gonna say he's little. But you know, he's normal size. I don't know what she's looking for. Make that make sense. That's what Foot Meat said. So for you to come out there here and say, and even Simone even said he wasn't small. Simone even said he wasn't small. And shout out to my girl, Miss Season, baby. Miss Season, baby. Because listen, I honestly believe if Miss Season had a problem, she wouldn't have stuck around. And that's why you don't, first of all, I would never even go there with somebody that I was with or been with. Hold on, y'all. My bad, y'all. I thought I heard my baby crying. She, my son said she was faking. Child, that's how you know when your motherly instincts kick in. And she all the way in the front. I had to ran out of here so fast to see what's going on. Uh, what was I saying? Yeah, like multiple women didn't have a problem, but you. And the crazy part is, from what I heard, it was said about Janashas also. Y'all remember when? Y'all remember when she sent that message when he apparently kicked her out or left her at that they had went to that whatever it was festival and then he ended up leaving her in the Uber or something, I think Pretty Bree said. And he went meet Pretty Bree, her homegirl, at that club at that bar. And somebody in the bar went back and told her, messaged her on social media and told her that Janash was in that bar with some girls or whatever, right? So the messages she sent him a bunch of messages saying I should pull up and vibe Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Like that. The weather just
Can y'all
completely
hear me?
shut me down. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Like that. The weather just. Y'all can hear me now? Y'all can? Okay. Y'all, it like clicked off. And that's because the weather is bad right now. So that's why I did that. I was talking and everything. It made a little click and went dark. And then my son said the power had like clicked off and on. So that's what it was. And I had to reboot and come back, sign back in and all of that. I was like, I thought I was just going to have to log off, which I was about to soon get off anyways, but I didn't want to just leave y'all hanging. But yeah, like it sounds crazy when all these other women that had an experience with him is saying something completely different from you. Make that make sense. So I don't know, child. Y'all couldn't hear me at first because I wasn't on here because it had kicked me out because my system had shut down because of the weather. But I see a lot of people saying they can hear me now. Um, but yeah, like make it make sense. Even and Foot Me can't stand her baby dad RH. Well, at some point, sometimes she like him, sometimes she don't, child. But even she said that she had no issues with that. So given it was just you, baby. And it's given you said that because you was mad. And you didn't want nobody else to have them. Just like if y'all remember when she exposed the nostrils one time on Instagram and somebody in her comments said, he fine. And she was like, well, if fine is farting and flicking effing boogers and what else did she say? And plucking them and this and that, then fine is at the dumpster. Go pick it up. But she went pick it up the next day. She went. So clearly, fine must be farting and flicking boogers to her because you sure went get your trash right back from that dumpster the very next day you came on live and took accountability for what you said. Make that make sense, baby. But anyways, y'all, we at 2 hours. Like I said, the power had to clicked off. I thought I was just gonna have to sign out through my phone, but it allowed me to come back in. But I'm finna get up off of here because I got a few things to do before I get in that bed because I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. But I will be live tomorrow, y'all. This is the end of the month. We going out with a bang, baby. So we're gonna be live tomorrow and what's today? Wait, hold on. Today is the 30th. So tomorrow is the last day for us to get our content in. So I'll be live tomorrow also, y'all. I'll be live tomorrow also. So I'm gonna try to go and finish Queen Step live too, so we can officially talk about that as well. But I love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out with me. Thank y'all for being patient with everything I had going on in this live stream. I don't normally have all that commotion and noise and distractions and all that, but the cheering is home. Okay, so it is what it is. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, y'all.
Yeah, you tuned in to Lou Pop, baby. She don't follow trends, she follow facts. Receipts ready, energy heavy. Let's go, let's go. Lupac, baby don't play. She speak facts, you see. Truth talk, clap back. All receipts on deck. She stand tall in the booth, got respect on her neck. INDE, yeah, she grinding with ease. PENENT, bringing truth to the streets. She don't do drama, she drop data. Scroll the page, now or later. You'll see lies get exposed and the fake get froze like refrigerators. Name ring bells like second line. Speak real, no need to lie. She from the south with a strong survivor. Snakes don't make it out alive. LUPAC, ain't no faking on the screen. Call a judge, call a jury. She deliver with that heat. You won't clap, but she got truth. No sugar in her speech. Independent, bold and real. This Lupac, baby, capiche? They scrolling, she exposing. They trolling, she compose. See, Lupac don't just react. She the code, what's not disclosed. From screenshots to timelines, receipts in real time. You playing checkers, she playing chess. Every move defined. Got that hustle in her bones. No cosign built her own. Views go up when she speak up. This platform here a throne. LUPAC, baby don't bend. She speak facts, you see. Truth talk, clap back. All receipts on deck. She
stand tall in the booth, got respect on her neck. I-N-D-E, yeah, she grinding with ease. P-E-N-D-E-T, bringing truth to the streets. L-U-A-C, baby, don't bend. She that truth in your feed when the lies get blown. Y'all watching, y'all lurking, but she grown. L-U-A-C, baby, don't be. She that truth in your feed when the lies get blown. Y'all watching, y'all lurking, but she grown. This ain't gossip, this ain't rumors. This is real talk, backed by real proof. Welcome to Lupac, baby, where every video got purpose.